Hello all. So, 1/1/2018. I think that proves a point that I've been saying for some time. You can't predict the end, and it's real hard to predict financial downturns. The gold people, the ones that sell gold and silver, said over and over and over on all their programs that 2017 would be the crash, and we would be in just absolute devastation by 2018. Guys, that can't happen when the countries are infusing the banks with endless cash with the requirement that it only be invested in the stock market. That's why the stock market all goes up at the same time. It's manipulation. It's working. The economy may be able to last like this forever. It's just paper or just stuff on a book. You can easily just get rid of it and, manipulate. So my point here is trying to predict big events on the planet Earth is kind of tough. For an example, I used to talk about peak oil quite a bit. As we watched peak oil come in 2015, kind of bump along at the top, and now there's serious declines happening worldwide. But trying to get good quality information is almost impossible. Let me show you just some basics I've found about peak oil and what's happening. Okay, well that didn't work because it's just too nice out, people are out, and there was nowhere to do a video. So we're in the studio today where we can continue our video. So what I wanted to talk about was trust with information that you get. For an example, I've been doing peak oil for years and years, updates, and I have found it to be the most corrupted sources of information I've ever seen. Every single country, every single company toots its own horn, whether it really has the amount that it says it does or not, because of the fact that quite a bit of the oil now comes with water, and they'll measure the oil before the water's boiled off, or any other chemicals. And then again, as you process oil, it gives you more oil than you put in. It expands. So you never really know what the actual numbers are. But we do know some numbers, sort of. Not numbers, but some. Well, let's go over the board and I'll show you what I mean. So when oil started being pumped seriously about 60, 70 years ago, this was the discoveries. They were huge, lasted for 60 years plus. Saudi Arabia had these, the US has those, Venezuela, down there, Mexico has it, the Gulf of Mexico has these types. But after about 20 years, these were no longer being discovered, and we were down to this side, about a 20-year supply of conventional oil with liquids, different types of oils, and what they call oil liquids. Then after about 10 more years, we were down to the 5-year pockets. These kind of off little pieces of oil that hadn't been discovered yet. Now we're down fracking, where we have to go farther down, further over, frack, and we may get a year's worth of oil out of this type of a well, but it's very sulfurated, polluted oil and needs a lot of processing. The difference between this and this has to be pretty clear. We don't need exact numbers, but we can surely tell that we are on the downhill side of peak oil. More and more oil experts are talking and screaming about that, because if we don't watch it, we'll be out of oil soon, and that will just add to the more problems that we already have, such as how are we going to run the tractors to harvest the food, and then how are we going to get it to market. There's some real issues here with peak oil. It is happening, and there are actually some that said that we obviously peaked in 1970 with conventional oil, meaning light crude and heavy crude. But they say that this new fracking, because there's so many wells, that they equal big amounts of oil. But even those discoveries are becoming less and less, and the ones that they are fracking are producing less and less. So we're trying it in other people's backyards, other countries. We're trying to process oil sands into usable substances and destroying huge boreal forests up in Canada and putting out the most extreme polluting oil anywhere on the planet. So in 2018, just like in 2017 and in 2016, look out, expect the worst, and make plans of what we or you can do about climate change and the depletion of oil. The better you are at taking yourself off the oil bandwagon, the better the planet is, and the better our footprint is on the planet. So, I appreciate all the ups and the downs and all the comments I get. And until next time. Oh, and thank you for the new subscribers as well. Though YouTube is back to removing them and letting them come back on and removing them. Go ahead, subscribe, what the heck. Until next time.